Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this Homevana ultrasonic humidifier. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description on Amazon, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So I currently have a whole house humidifier and it helps with adding humidity to the house, but if I turn up that humidifier too high it starts condensing water on the windows, so I have to keep it turned down a bit. But there are certain areas of our house where we want to have a little bit more humidity, like next to the bed at night or in our kids' room. So a great way to do that is to use a humidifier like this. Now if you don't have a whole house humidifier you could just use this on its own. So here this says adjustable mist, sleep mode, mood lights, timer. It's 3 liters. It lasts up to 32 hours. That is between tank fills. So it has 32-hour continuous mode, runs for up to 32 hours on a single tank of 3 liter. It has a 377 square foot or a 35 square meter coverage area. Adjustable high and low mist. Let's open this up. Here we have a power supply. So the output on this is 24 volts at 0.75 amps. And here's the humidifier. And we have an instruction manual. So here's the quick start guide. It says place the humidifier on a level surface and it wants it a foot from any walls. Remove the tank lid and fill the tank with water. Don't fill past the water tank's max water line, and purified or distilled water is recommended. So your best bet here is to buy distilled water to pour into it, and distilled water is pretty cheap. If you don't have distilled water you could use some filtered water, and if you don't you could use tap water. It's just preferred in most humidifiers that you use a pure water source. So this does have a essential oil pad on here, and I don't do the essential oils, but people that do can use that feature. It says not to add them right to the water, but to add them to the essential oil pad. So you want to follow the alignment marks to put the lid back on the tank. You can add a few drops of aromatherapy or essential oil to the tray on the bottom, and then plug in the humidifier and tap on the power button to turn it on. So it has some different buttons here. So you tap on the power button to turn it on or off. It has a timer button, and it's an auto off timer for 2 to 10 hours. It has a sleep mode button and a light button. This talks about cleaning. It says unplug the humidifier, remove the water tank in the lid and empty any excess water. Rinse the tank and base chamber under clean running water. Do not allow water inside the air outlet. Remove any scale buildup, wipe with a cloth or the included brush soaked with enough distilled vinegar. To remove any scale buildup, wipe with a cloth or the included brush soaked with enough distilled white vinegar. Rinse all parts again and pour out the remaining water. Completely dry all parts before use. So if you're using that distilled water you shouldn't really even have any scale. And here's the main manual. So this is a lot thicker. So here's the table of contents, the types of things that are covered in this manual. So I'm going to finish unpacking this here. It has tape here and they fold it over the ends to make it easier to pull off. So that's nice. Here's the lid it pulls off. And you can see the alignment mark maybe right here. And here's the tank it lifts off of here. So this looks like a float valve here. It looks like that's the transducer down there. Here we have the essential oil tray. So we'll push that in, it will pop out, and there's a pad in there. You can put the essential oils on. And the power will plug in the back here. The power cord's around 6 foot in length. I'll plug that in there. I'll plug it in the back. And here you can see the light. So I'm going to go get some water and then we'll test this out. So I have a ½ liter of water. I'll pour that in the tank. Place on the lid, lining up the arrows. There we go. We can turn this on. Okay, and it's already started up. So now there's cool mist coming out of here. So it doesn't feel very wet, although if I held my hand here for a while, it might start condensing on my hand. But it's adding moisture to the air. So this has an ultrasonic transducer that shakes the water into tiny particles, and then there's a fan to disperse it in the air. So this is super quiet. I hear a little bit of trickling sound. I did for a second, it stopped. It might have just been adjusting itself. So this does have a light in it. We can press the light here to get different colors. So this can act as a night light, and you can turn it off. And then we have the sleep timer. So it's set to 2 hours, 4, 6, 8, or 10. So it looks like you can set it in 2-hour increments. Then we have this button here. This turns the display off. So if you want it pitch black, you can do that and it will turn this display off. It's nice that they allow for that. So if we press the power button again, it will turn it to low. Press it again, it will turn it off. So I'm going to go turn the light off and we'll take a look at this in the dark. So here it is in the dark. It's changing colors, or I can change this button to change the colors so you can see them. So I just have a little bit of water in right now. So a lot of this chamber is actually filled up with the mist, and some of that might condense and go back down, but most of it's going to go out the top. I'll get up here at a higher angle so you can see the mist coming out of this. And here's the low mode. It might take a second for it to slow down. So I'll take this off and you can see what's happening in here. The mist is coming out of this tube, it's entering the chamber, and it's exiting the top here. I want to show what this looks like when you take the tank off here. It fills the reservoir from this. So this has a float valve. When that opens, it drains water into here. So if you want to drain this, you could probably unplug the whole thing, take the whole thing over to a sink, and then drain the two parts. So if you do use tap water with this, you might notice a little bit of white dust around. That's common with ultrasonic humidifiers when using tap water. So if you don't want that, just use a distilled water. So that's the Hombana 3-liter Cool Mist humidifier. This is a nice little humidifier for humidifying a bedroom, an apartment, living room, nursery, different places where you have low humidity. And low humidity can cause all sorts of problems. So this would be a great thing to use in the wintertime, at least where I am. It gets really dry. If you're into essential oils, you can add some essential oils down there. This also has the high and low mode. So I'll probably start it on the low mode and see how that works, and if I want a little more humidity, I'll kick it up to high. So that's all I'm going to be covering in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.